Howdy everyone, this is LockNutz, and you're watching a map tour of Cow Farm by ABT FrankyY. Hopefully you'll stick around to see what happens. Howdy, howdy, howdy. How are you guys doing today? Oh my goodness, I tell you what, today we get to go on a map tour of Cow Farm by ABT FrankyY. This little bad man pajama is 146.64 megabytes to download, and as of this moment, it is only for PC and Mac. So that is the story for right now. So, one thing that we're going to go ahead and do is take a little walk around on this map, see how things are going. We have started this gameplay off on New Farmers Mode. That way you guys know what you would start off with if you did start off in New Farmers Mode. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at your equipment. Alright everyone, this is your equipment right here, and it does not matter what mode you start off with, you get this stuff no matter what. Let's jump into it. Tractors, you have 3 tractors, 1 Kloss, 1 Fendt, and 1 Case. Taking a peek at your truck here, you do start off with 1 Mack Anthem 6x4, pretty darn slick. Harvesters, you have 2 harvesters here, 1 Kloss and 1 Case. And yes, they both come with 1 grain header apiece, 1 corn header apiece, and only 1 trailer though, so you'll have to share. Got to figure that one out. Animals wise, you do have the Vertimix for mixing up your TMR, pretty darn slick. Cars, you have 1 pickup truck. Trailers, you start off with 1 Load King triple hopper, not too shabby, and a AgriLiner, pretty cool. Stone pickers, you do have the 1 Scorpio stone picker. Disc harrow, you start off with the Rebel class, not too shabby at all. Subsoiler, you start off with the Cultiplow Platinum 8 meter, not too shabby. Seeders, the Veristat Rapid A. Fertilizer spreaders, you start off with the Breedel, which is nice because it does do lime and fertilizer, so that's working out pretty slick for you. And that's all that you have on here. Nice large chunk of machinery to get yourself going with. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the map to see where you can use all this stuff. All right, everyone, so this is the map. Now, as I had said before, this is a PC and Mac only map as of this moment. I don't know if it'll ever go to console. I'm just saying that right now because you have lots and lots and lots of animal pens on here, and you also have lots of animals that you start off with. 2,000 sheep, 2,000 cows, holy cats. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pigsties, 2 horse barns, 1 cow barn, and 1 sheep barn. Pretty darn insane. So, with that all being said, what do you actually start off with here? Farmland, you start off with field 10, 13, and 15 to get yourself rocking and rolling. You do have access to all the pens no matter what, and you do start off with those animals on all modes as well. So keep that in mind. Now, taking a look at field prices here, field 21 is the absolute cheapest field, coming in at $49,000. Field 21, on the other hand, or I should say field 5, I'm sorry about that. Field 5 comes in at $1.5 million. So that's pretty darn expensive. Now, that is the most expensive field on the map. The most expensive, we'll say, plot, this could be looked at 2 different ways, is this one right here coming in at $2.8 million. But the extra plots of land, all the extra does come in at $4 million. So that's pretty darn steep here. You do have a nice little forestry area that is broken up into 3 different areas. We'll make sure we hit that on our little bit of a tour here. It looks pretty darn slick. You do have the BGA up over here. You don't start with that, so you have to purchase it. And there are some other little plots here and there that you can go ahead and purchase. Overall, the field prices are relatively expensive. Saying that because you do have this one at 49, you do have this in 112, but you do have quite a bit of these larger fields out here. So keep that in mind. That's what the map looks like. Let's take a look at this beast from the ground. All right, guys, so one thing I'm going to do right off the bat here is we're going to turn the map on the corner so you can kind of follow along with me to see where we're actually going. So what we're going to end up doing here is we're going to actually hop into our truck and kind of drive around. The farmyard's a little spread out, so bear with me as we hop in here and get ourselves rocking and rolling. I'm going to stay in this as we go ahead and drive on out so I can see what I'm doing here. But, you know, there we go. One thing that you guys are going to notice when we are rocking and rolling, wandering around here, is that there is ample amount of storage, ample amount of spaces to go ahead and try different things. It is pretty darn slick. And if you pop on here, you take a look at what we can go about doing here. When it comes to demoing, not everything can be demoed out. There are a handful of things, so you're just going to have to kind of, you know, hunt and peck, figure out what you can and can't do. Like I said, lots of stuff. This place is very spread out, very, very intense in where everything is here. So just kind of keep your eyes open. There are no new buildings on here or any specialty buildings. The only thing that I was able to find really are just a couple extra paint swaths, so you can go ahead and do what you want that way. Just to kind of keep that in mind. But you do have, like I said, quite a bit of room. Lots and lots of stuff. Possibly you could get yourself a good multiplayer going on here with the amount of space that's available on the map. And just because you start off with all that equipment on all farming modes, it doesn't mean that you absolutely have to keep it. You can go ahead and get rid of this stuff, start off however the heck you want to, and it's all going to end up working out pretty darn slick. So there is no traffic on here. There are contracts that you can get. So keep that in mind when you're out rocking and rolling, doing your little bits and pieces. One thing I do want to point out to you here is that you can, I was going to say for the most part, thought you could drive through. You can drive through them. They're not that great. But if there's any places like, let's come up this way here really quick here. You should be able to see. If there's anything that's considered pasture or something like that for your animals, you can't get in. You just can't get in through any of those fences. So kind of keep that in mind as we're going around taking a peek at things. Now, one of the things I'm going to eventually do here is I'm going to drive around and drive off-road so you can see what the lay of the land looks like, not within this facility here. But I'll give you a heads up. As you can kind of see here where I'm struggling, even though I'm driving over and over this fence here, the land's flat. It really is a flat map for being able to do whatever type of farming. Essentially unrestricted, unpunishable farming. I missed my turn to get in there, but as you can see right there, that's where all those pigsties are. And there are a lot of them in there, just absolutely tons. There you go. This is where I was saying it really is pretty darn flat over here. So, like I said, when it comes to potentially you don't want to use that equipment that's there that you start off with, you're gonna be able to get whatever the heck you want. It's not gonna cause too many issues or anything like that. So this is your pigsty area. You do have some shelter over here, but essentially you just got all these pigsties just slapped down into this yard here, and there you go. Rock and roll. I have not taken a peek to see how many pigs you can possibly get. I can only imagine, because you have one sheep barn and you have one cow barn that both have 2,000 animals in them. I can almost assume you can get a lot of pigs. Just saying. Just saying. You probably can get yourself a lot of pigs. Actually, let's come over here and take a look at this right off the bat. And this is maxed out right here at 2,000 animals, 2,000 sheep in there. So I'm assuming the cows are probably the same way, maxed out at 2,000 in there, which is why I'm saying I don't believe this is ever going to come to console unless the amount of animals get knocked down a ton, unless you end up seeing a lot of these buildings get taken away. It's just Just my opinion. I could be wrong, but if it is something that you guys like, you can always go ahead and contact a modder and say, hey, you know, I really like this. This is pretty darn slick. Is there any way you can go ahead and work on something to get this on console? Because you never know. You never know. You might get a little bit of what you want here. So I actually, you know what, at this point here, I am going to do a little bit of driving off-road here just to kind of give you a little bit more of a view of things. Like I said, everything's pretty darn flat, but I'm taking a look at all of this grass right here, and this is pretty darn slick. You can get yourself quite a bit of stuff going on in here. The BGA is actually pretty darn slick. It's set up in a very neat way. You have a couple selling points over here, which is pretty darn slick. And as you come over here to the BGA, there you go. This is what I wanted to show you. It has this nice little dividing triangle that kind of diverts your traffic on how you can get in and how you can get out. I really do kind of like that. You have your BGA in here, nothing like crazy with that, but it is neat to see like this nice little divider in there to kind of help guide you to where you should be going. Oh man, and as you can see, guys, just more and more storage. Really, I guess the best way to describe this map from what I'm seeing is it kind of is an empty slate. Now this field off to the left here, this is that cheapest field, that field 21 right there. Not much to it, but it's not the end of the world. Like I was saying, this map really is, or should say really does feel like an empty slate with a bunch of different stuff on it. So you have your options on how you want to go about doing things. How do you want to do this? How do you want to do that? You have your options, and it's entirely up to you. Now, one thing we're going to do here really quick is we are going to get ourselves into the forestry, which is going to be right there. We're going to hop in just like that and drive on up through here. So as you can possibly see, okay, that's enough of that. We'll shut you off and we'll let you be. As you can see here, guys, it is very, very dense. You do have a winding path, a winding road that does come through here, but it is very dense. This is the only real spot where you have where it's kind of wide open. But other than that, the land, for what the price is, you have a lot of trees on here. Absolutely tons and tons of trees. So I think no matter what you end up doing, you probably are going to be pretty darn safe with this. So what I'd kind of like to do at this point, guys, here is I'd kind of like to fly up into the sky and get a little bit better view to see what this all looks like from up above. So stand by for just a minute and get ready to fly. All right, everyone, let's go on up and take a look at this place from up above. Not too shabby at all. As you can see here, I'm just getting up here because it's going to be a little bit easier to see what's going on. Actually, you know what I got to do? I got to get a little bit higher up. There's so many trees over here. My PC's kind of struggling just a hair with this. So you do have a nice waterway that kind of cuts through the land. This is your only bridge, your only real obstacle, and it's actually a fairly decent sized bridge. So you really aren't going to have too many issues, especially with those Draper trailers that are back there that you have. But if you try and get through with like a header on, you're not going to do it. It's not that wide of a trailer. So let's get ourselves back up. And like I said, guys, it is a flat map. There's nothing wrong with that. It gives you that opportunity to get out there, try stuff, really get yourself rocking and rolling. If you don't like having to hassle with all the land undulations, the ups and downs, having to upsize all your equipment so you can figure stuff out, this is a good map for that. It has big fields. It has options to go ahead and try out different things. You do have grass all over the place for making silage, feeding your cows. You start off, for crying out loud, with 2,000 cows and 2,000 sheep. You have options. You have lots of options. The amount of money that you can make off of this is going to be absolutely insane, guys. Absolutely insane. But don't take my word for it. Go ahead, download this one, and comment down below. Let me know what you think of it. Guys, if you guys are liking what you're hearing, liking what you're seeing, go ahead and smash that like button. I really, really would appreciate it. Make sure you go ahead and comment down below. That helps out with all the fancy algorithms. Hit that subscription. It really does help the channel out. And make sure you have that notification bell turned on and set to all. That way you know when this and other great videos by myself are coming on out. Guys, go ahead and share this with somebody who likes a lot of cows and a lot of pigs, because they got plenty on here. Son of a gun. You betcha, you betcha. And until I see you again next time, thanks for stopping by.